individual that we treated on study had a history of pancreatic cancer, had undergone a Whipple procedure, and received post-operative chemoradiotherapy, and underwent further imaging post-operatively after she had completed all of her therapy, and there was concern about recurrent disease in either a mass or lymph nodes outside of the field that she had her radiotherapy. So we also noted that there was an elevated tumor marker and CA19-9, and so there was concern that she had recurrent disease.
So in 2008, he said, it's time for a PET scan because I think that you have recurrence of pancreatic cancer. So I did have the PET scan, and it did indicate, it lit up and indicated that I did, in fact, have activity. And I had my appointment to follow up with the test results. And he said, I recommend that you go back on chemotherapy. And I said, I don't understand that. Why should I do that? Because it did not help me. It did not cure me. I said, it just broke my body down, and it destroyed my whole quality of life. And so I said, why should I do that? He said, well, it might extend your life by 2 to 3 months. And I said, wow, how long do you think I'm going to live? And he said, well, I can't play God, but you probably have between 6 and 7 months before your life ends. And I said, oh, well, I'm not going to spend my last 6 or 7 months on this planet taking chemotherapy. I'll just go home and live my life out happily ever after. And so I informed my children. I have a daughter that lived in Boston. She was connected to the Brigham's Women's Hospital there. And all my family just came unglued. And I said, I'm okay. I don't have any pain. I'm just going to live a peaceful life for the next 6 or 8 months. My daughter, Tess, researched treatments for me, and we came across the Rexin G. The reason I liked it so much was because it didn't have any side effects or symptoms, and so we accepted that. I took the information to my oncologist, Dr. Michael Morris at Duke, and he smiled at me, and he said, you know that we cannot recommend anything outside the standard of care to you, but I have reviewed this Rexin G, and I actually wrote a report or review on it in 2005. So he smiled at me. He said, pack your bags.
So she participated in this Rexin G trial. She actually initiated her therapy at another site and continued at our site. And although initially she had a PET scan that showed positivity in the area of the abnormality on the CT scan, which we thought was evidence of recurrent disease, eventually the PET scans normalized, and there was no abnormality on them, and her tumor marker normalized. And so she continued on the therapy until about May of 2010. So she was basically on for a bit more than a year. I guess it would be about perhaps about 14 or 15 months. And since that time, she's had no further therapy. So since essentially 2010, she's had no further therapy. We've had periodic PET scans performed, tumor markers, and there's been no abnormalities of concern on the PET scan, and she's obviously alive and well at this point.
This was 12 years ago, and I still have the quality of life. They've extended my life, and it was just a miracle. Dr. Gordon and Dr. Hall have created a cure for treatment for not only pancreatic cancer, but other types of cancer.
So the the safety and the tolerability of the Rexin G were excellent. It was administered without any difficulties. There were no reactions during the therapy. There have been no long-term side effects or toxicities, and the quality of life was excellent during the treatments and since that time.